My name is Clara. I am 29. I live alone in a small apartment in the city. The mornings are always quiet here. The walls are pale, almost gray, and the air feels still. I wake up to emptiness. No one waits for me. No one calls my name. The silence sometimes feels heavier than my own heartbeat. I have lived like this for a long time. After my parents died, I thought I would find someone to share my life with. But people leave. Friends move on. Love fades. I am used to being left behind. My apartment is full of things, but empty at the same time. Books sit on the shelf, unread. Plates are stacked in the sink. Clothes lie on the floor. I look at it all and feel nothing. Not joy, not anger, just a quiet ache. Nights are colder than mornings. I wrap myself in a blanket, but it does not touch the loneliness. The city outside lights up, people laughing and walking together, and I imagine what it would be like to belong. To matter. To be wanted. I try to keep myself busy. Work, errands, small tasks. But each task ends, and the emptiness comes back. I remember the days when life was different. When my sister Anna was still here. When my first love promised to stay. But everything went away, leaving only silence. Sometimes, I sit by the window and watch the rain fall. Drops hit the glass, cold and small, like tiny reminders of the world I cannot reach. My heart feels tired. My hands feel empty. I wonder if anyone will ever see me. Really see me. Even my memories hurt. They are soft and bitter at the same time. I think of the home I lost, the friends I let go, the dreams I abandoned. And I am left with this quiet, lonely life. I have learned to hide my sadness behind small smiles, polite words, and a calm voice. But inside, I am hollow. I am waiting for something. I do not know what. Perhaps for someone to notice the emptiness. Perhaps for a small spark of warmth to reach me. It happens slowly. Not like in the movies, with sudden storms or bright lights. Just a small shift. One evening, I was walking home from work. The streets were quiet. A man was sitting on the steps of the building across from mine. He looked tired. Older than me. His eyes seemed sad, too. I paused. Something about him felt familiar, though I had never met him. His name was Daniel. He spoke softly when he noticed me looking. "Are you okay?" he asked. His voice was calm, careful, like he did not want to break the silence. I wanted to walk away, to ignore him. But I did not. Something inside me said, "Listen." At first, I only nodded. I did not speak much. He did not push. We sat there, side by side, as the city lights flickered. The silence between us was different. Not empty. It felt gentle. Like someone quietly holding space for you. The next days, we saw each other again. Sometimes at the same steps, sometimes in the small cafe on the corner. I was hesitant. I had not trusted anyone in years. I worried about letting someone in. About being hurt again. Yet, I found myself waiting. For his quiet smile. For his soft words. For the small warmth he brought without even trying. It was confusing. I had learned to live with cold and empty. Why did this small presence make my chest feel lighter? I noticed the small details. The way he tilted his head when he listened. The way he offered a cup of coffee without asking. Nothing big. Nothing dramatic. Just little things that made the world feel less lonely. I told myself it was nothing. Just kindness. Nothing more. But my heart argued quietly. It remembered hope. A hope I thought had left me forever. And I began to see it, life could shift. Slowly. Gently. Without warning. Without force. Just a soft hand, reaching out in the quiet. And for the first time in a long time, I wondered if I could let someone in again. Days passed. Weeks, maybe. I lost track. But Daniel kept appearing in small ways. He would bring coffee when I stayed late at work. Just a cup, no words. I began to notice the little things he did. A hand on my shoulder when I shivered. A quiet laugh when something was funny. One afternoon, he walked me home. The streets were empty, leaves rustling under our feet. We did not speak much. But I felt safe. Not excited. Not nervous. Safe. I like seeing you, he said quietly. I looked at him. I like it too. We laughed softly, a small sound between us. It felt fragile. But real. At my apartment, he would sit on the couch, not too close. Not touching. Just sitting. Sometimes we talked. About work. About nothing. About the rain. He listened. I spoke. Slowly, carefully. Words spilling out, like water that had been held back too long. Do you always live alone? He asked one evening. Yes, I said. It's quiet. Too quiet sometimes. I understand, he said. I like quiet too. But not empty quiet. Those words stayed with me. Not because they were clever. Not because they promised anything. But because they understood. We began small routines. Walks in the park. Sharing a sandwich at the cafe. Sometimes just sitting silently, hands wrapped around warm mugs. The world felt lighter. Less harsh. Less lonely. One day, he held the door for me. His hand brushed mine. My chest jumped, but I did not pull away. I let it happen. I hope we keep this, he said, looking at me. Not rush. Just keep it. I nodded. I did not know what I was feeling. But I wanted to feel it. Slowly. Carefully. I began to trust him. Not fully. Not yet. But enough to let him in, a little at a time. Evenings were the hardest. I would lie awake, thinking. Wondering if I was too fragile for this. Too used to empty. But then I remembered the small warmth he left in my chest. The quiet moments that were not empty. I realized I was learning to hope again. Not loudly. Not wildly. But softly. A quiet hope. A hope that maybe, just maybe, someone could stay. And I held on to that hope. Carefully. Fragilely. But with all my heart. It started slowly. A missed call. A message left unread. A small silence that stretched too long. Daniel was there less. I waited, hoping for an explanation. But none came. When we met, he seemed distant. His eyes did not meet mine. His words were short, clipped. "Everything okay?" I asked one evening, voice quiet. "Yes, just tired," he said, not looking at me. I nodded. I wanted to believe him. But the heaviness in the room told a different story. I felt the warmth between us cooling, fading. Days passed. The small routines we had built disappeared. No walks. No shared coffee. No silent evenings. Just empty space and unanswered questions. I tried to reach him. Called. Messaged. Nothing. The emptiness returned, sharper than before. The ache in my chest was familiar, but deeper this time. I had let someone in. And now, silence. I remembered his words, the promise to not rush, just keep it. It felt like a lie now. Or maybe I had misunderstood. I sat in my apartment, the walls pressing closer. The quiet I once hated was now unbearable. I imagined him elsewhere. Smiling, living, without me. And I hated myself for caring. For trusting. For hoping. Nights became cold again. I wrapped myself in blankets, but the chill did not leave. My hands trembled, not from cold, but from fear. Fear that the warmth I had let in was gone forever. I tried to sleep, but the silence screamed. I remembered every small gesture he had given me, every gentle word, every shared look. And now, they all felt like memories from someone else's life. I wanted to scream. To demand answers. But my voice stayed quiet. My body stayed still. Pain does not always need sound. Sometimes, it just sits heavy inside you. I realized then that trust could break as easily as it forms. That hope could be taken away without warning. And that sometimes, people leave, even when you thought they would stay. I sat by the window. Rain fell hard, hitting the glass like tiny, sharp reminders. My hands shook. My chest felt heavy. Tears streamed down my face. I could not stop them. I tried to breathe, but the weight in my chest pressed harder with every exhale. I remembered the first time he smiled at me. The first time he held the door. The soft words he spoke, promising nothing but staying close. And now, nothing. The truth hit me fully. He was gone. Not just absent for a day, but gone. The promise, the trust, the fragile hope I had built, all of it vanished. I curled up on the floor. Rain soaked the window beside me. My heart ached as if someone had ripped a piece of it away. I shook. Not from cold, but from the shock of realizing the depth of my loneliness again. "I trusted you," I whispered. My voice cracked. The room swallowed it. No answer came. No warmth. Just the silence, sharp and unforgiving. Memories flashed. Our small routines, our quiet talks, the warmth I had felt. All gone, as if it had never existed. I felt hollow, empty. Cold. My eyes burned, my lips trembled. The wind outside rattled the window, a soft echo of the storm inside me. I wanted to scream, to shout, to make the world hear my pain. But I only cried. The ache was unbearable. The realization that some promises are forgotten. That some hearts leave without warning. That trust can break quietly, leaving devastation in its place. I stayed there for hours. Rain, tears, shaking. Heartbreaking, unstoppable. And in that quiet devastation, I understood the full weight of loss again. The days after were quiet. Too quiet, at first. My apartment felt heavy with absence. But slowly, I began to notice small things. The warmth of sunlight on the floor. The soft hum of the city outside. The rhythm of my own breathing. I learned to sit with my pain, not fight it. To let the tears come, then leave. To remember what had been gentle and cherish it, without needing it to stay. I realized that trust and hope are fragile, but they are also courage. Even if someone leaves, the heart can still open again. I found strength in myself, in the quiet moments. In the small routines I had abandoned. I began to walk slowly, watch the rain without fear, hold a cup of coffee and feel its warmth. Life was not perfect. Life was not fully healed. But I could breathe. I could hope, softly, quietly. And that was enough. I learned that pain can teach, that absence can remind you of what matters, and that even broken hearts can carry light. And in that stillness, I felt a small peace.